has, like, this Conor McGregor fight in July is going to be fucking bananas. It's going to be bananas. I mean, people are going to go crazy for the return of Conor McGregor because he's a giant personality.
But don't expect the same.
How could
you just can't?
He hasn't fought in 5 years, right?
But that's the problem.
It might be more
because they're going to all expect that.
I think it is a little over 5. It's almost 6. I think
it might be 6 at the time of the fight.
It might be. I think it's 5. I think it's 5 right now.
Are we expecting to see a Conor that looked like Nate this last fight? Or are we expecting to see a better Conor than someone that looked like Nate? Because Nate did not look good.
No, but Mike Perry did.
And
Mike Perry looked like a fucking murderer.
You know what I mean? Like
Mike Perry is a murderer.
He's a murderer.
And this is
such a savage.
You take a look at that.
Prediction: a finish, bro. Mystic Max is feeling a finish, bro. Finish, bro.
But yeah, I guess the other part too. Like if Max goes in there and puts a beating on him, is this the last time you see Conor? I mean, I doubt it. I suspect he'll try and like find another way to keep this train on the tracks. But like, what if he goes in there?
That's a great point.
Like shit, you know.
That's a great point because is he the type of personality? Now he has lost, and he lost devastatingly to Dustin Poirier in the way, you know. But there was an injury. If he just gets outworked, you know, knocked out, just outworked, like. Can he live with that? Like, that's the thing. I'm like, is he gonna, or is he gonna be like, no? Now we're gonna see Conor want to turn around and come back in there quicker, you know, like within months, you know, that type of thing, because he just doesn't want to live with that. That'd be interesting to see too. If it
see this going, can Conor do anything with the fighter you're probably more familiar with than anyone in Max Holloway?
Well, we know that Conor hasn't been in the game for a long time, and I think a lot of people are thinking that he's just going to lose everything, but that's not the case. He's going to be dangerous. He's obviously going to still be very sharp.
All right. What did you make of Max's energy? The interview that you did with Rogan on Sunday, he's very confident.
A bit rude, wasn't it? He's confident. I didn't see that.
You didn't
look, Max is alright. Max is good. Max is my son. I sunned Max when we fought those years ago, and I'm going to do so again.
He's gotten a lot better since you last fought. Would you not agree?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't see much.
Since 2013?
No, I don't see much. I don't see much difference now.
Really?
No. Not so much. Same reaction, same movements. Listen, Max got better after he fought me. He added more moves to his game, but even still, there's only one. So I'm not gonna say I don't rate him. I don't rate any of them. So it's on me now, with my date set, to go and show that, and that makes me happy.
I don't know. I'm still kind of. I guess it didn't really hit me yet. Didn't really hit me because there was big announcements. We talked a little bit about it, big announcements this last week, but it didn't really boom on me yet. Like, is this really happening? McGregor and Holloway 2 is really happening.
The return of Conor McGregor.
And this time, this time I welterweight, Henry. Let's welterweight, not featherweight. This time it's going to be at welterweight.
Holloway versus McGregor, International Fight Week. This is the fight that makes sense. I talked to Max Holloway the other day. I posed this question to him: do you want to fight Conor? And Max said to me versus McGregor. This is the fight that I want. I am training right now because it's all I want. And when we fought, I was a little boy. Could you ever have imagined losing the BMF title would put you closer to...
This latest development feels far more serious than the typical speculation that often surrounds combat sports. It doesn't come across as another temporary retirement storyline that fades away before quickly being reversed months later. Instead, there is growing belief that a second showdown between McGregor and Holloway could genuinely be taking shape. Any sense of distance between them after their first clash in 2013 appears to have disappeared, replaced by renewed intensity and anticipation. McGregor has been unusually direct about the possibility as well. Rather than speaking in broad terms or offering carefully crafted promotional comments, he openly described what he believes will happen if he meets Holloway again. There was no attempt to soften his words or leave room for interpretation. His confidence came across as deliberate and specific, making the situation feel different from the standard back and forth that often accompanies major fight discussions. In combat sports, bold statements are nothing new. Athletes frequently make predictions and exchange verbal shots to generate attention, build excitement, and help market an event. Yet this situation felt different. It sounded less like a promotional tactic and more like someone who has already envisioned the outcome in his mind and wanted the public to see the same picture. At the same time, it's important to remember how much both competitors have evolved since their first meeting. Back then, McGregor was still climbing the ranks at featherweight, determined to establish himself and build the reputation that would eventually make him a worldwide superstar. Holloway, meanwhile, was a young prospect still working to prove he belonged among the division's top contenders. More than 10 years have passed since that encounter, and both careers have taken remarkable turns. Holloway has assembled a resume worthy of the highest recognition in the sport, delivering standout performances that helped cement his status as one of the most respected and accomplished strikers in MMA history. McGregor's path has been very different. He grew into one of the most recognizable figures the sport has ever seen, expanding his profile far beyond fighting. Along the way, he spent significant periods away from competition while pursuing other opportunities, major events, and challenges that had little connection to Holloway. That is why many observers believe a rematch would represent far more than a simple contest of striking ability or fight IQ. The significance extends beyond what happens during the exchanges inside the cage. It is a clash of legacies, shaped by two careers that followed dramatically different directions after sharing the Octagon for the first time. Of course, performance and skill will still play a decisive role when the cage door closes. No one is suggesting otherwise. But the intrigue surrounding this matchup reaches well beyond technical analysis. The deeper narrative is what continues to capture attention. There is a long history connecting these two fighters, along with questions that have remained unanswered for over a decade. After years spent traveling separate roads, their stories now seem destined to intersect once again. If the rematch becomes reality, it will bring together two vastly different journeys on a single night, under one roof, before fans who have waited years to discover how this long-awaited sequel ultimately plays out.
He's sitting here and spouting to you, oh, but this and that. And then it's nothing, it's just words. I'll say something now, I've got my date to show it, and that is when I'm going to show it.
Are you looking forward to Fight Week, the press conference, all the stuff that you haven't had a chance to take part in? Do you miss all of that?
You know, I am ready for it. Because that can be taxing, but I am ready for it. You know, that takes it out here. But I'm ready for it, and what I am most looking forward to is the bout, the walk, the fight, the announcement, the crowd, the exchanges, and the dominating performance that I plan to put on.
When something's taken away from you, you may appreciate it more when it's given back. So just being there with John, being there with the team, like you're riding again. There's a nostalgic feeling to all of this.
Sure. Oh, the morale in the gym is very nice. It's very good.
Conor McGregor made little effort to conceal his thoughts about Max Holloway's growing confidence as discussion of a potential rematch continued to gain momentum. Confidence has never been unusual for Holloway. Throughout his career, he has carried himself with quiet assurance, staying composed during interviews and allowing his performances inside the cage to speak louder than any prediction or boast. However, this time, something about Holloway's self-belief appeared to strike a nerve with McGregor. The topic surfaced during a conversation with Ariel Helwani, who referenced comments Holloway had made in a previous interview with Joe Rogan. At first, McGregor responded playfully. He tossed out a remark about Holloway that sounded more humorous than hostile, the type of comment that could easily be mistaken for harmless banter. For a brief moment, the exchange felt lighthearted. McGregor even appeared amused by his own reaction, giving the impression that he wasn't taking the subject too seriously. That mood didn't last. As the conversation continued, his tone became noticeably more serious. The joking faded away, replaced by comments that made it clear he wasn't particularly impressed by the praise and momentum surrounding Holloway. What began as a casual response quickly turned into a much stronger assessment of the man he may eventually face again. At the center of the discussion is a simple reality: Holloway's accomplishments are difficult to ignore. Over the years, he has built an exceptional career, collecting championship victories, defending titles, defeating elite competition, and earning recognition as one of the most skilled and reliable strikers the featherweight division has ever seen. His relentless pace, technical precision, and ability to maintain pressure deep into fights have become trademarks of his style. Those qualities have earned respect from fighters, analysts, and fans alike. McGregor isn't disputing Holloway's resume. What he appears to question is whether those achievements have fundamentally changed the fighter himself. From McGregor's perspective, all the victories, awards, and memorable moments do not alter the person he remembers facing in 2013. In his view, beneath the accomplishments and recognition stands the same opponent he encountered more than a decade ago. It's a perspective that many fans will view as dismissive, while others will see it as classic McGregor confidence. Either way, it's exactly the type of statement that spreads rapidly throughout the MMA world, fueling debate and generating attention almost instantly. The comment also aligns perfectly with the image McGregor has cultivated throughout his career. Rarely has he shown interest in praising an upcoming opponent before a fight. Instead, he has built his reputation on projecting certainty, challenging narratives, and refusing to elevate the man standing across from him. Whether those remarks reflect his genuine assessment of Holloway or serve as a strategic attempt to create psychological pressure remains open to interpretation. Only McGregor truly knows his intentions. What cannot be denied is the effect. The discussion surrounding a potential rematch has grown louder, and people are already debating the matchup long before the opening bell could ever ring. That approach has been a defining part of McGregor's promotional playbook for years: make a statement that captures attention, allow the media to amplify it, and let the conversation build momentum on its own. Once the headlines start circulating, the story often takes on a life of its own.
All right. What did you make of Max's energy? The interview that you did with Rogan on Sunday? He's very confident.
Bit rude, wasn't it? He's confident? I didn't see that. Look, Max is alright. Max is good. Max is my son. I sunned Max when we fought those years ago, and I'm going to do so again.
He's gotten a lot better since you last fought. Would you not agree?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't see much.
Since 2013?
No, I don't see much. I don't see much difference, no.
Really?
No, not so much. Same reaction, same movements. Listen, Max got better after he fought me. He added more moves to his game, but even still, there's only one. So I'm not going to say I don't rate him. I don't rate any of them. So it's on me now, with my date set, to go and show that. And that makes...
But where does that leave fans and analysts trying to figure out what happens if these two finally meet again? The truth is that opinions are heavily divided. On one side are those who believe McGregor still has another unforgettable performance left in him. They see a fighter capable of recapturing the brilliance that once made him one of the most feared competitors in the sport. Supporters of that view point to his history of proving doubters wrong, delivering standout victories when many believed the odds were stacked against him. Anyone who remembers his rise through the featherweight and lightweight ranks understands why some people are reluctant to count him out completely, regardless of how much time has passed or how dramatically the sport has evolved. Then there is the argument favoring Holloway, and it carries plenty of weight as well. Few fighters can match the pace Holloway brings into a contest. His ability to maintain pressure from the opening round to the final horn has become one of his defining strengths. That style becomes especially significant in championship distance fights, where endurance, output, and experience often determine the outcome just as much as raw skill. When discussions turn to conditioning, activity, and time spent competing against elite opposition, Holloway's resume speaks for itself. Over the years, he has built a reputation as a fighter who steadily breaks opponents down, forcing them to deal with constant pressure and a relentless stream of offense. His approach often transforms long fights into exhausting battles where maintaining momentum becomes just as important as winning exchanges. That is what makes this matchup so difficult to predict. One possibility is that fans witness the explosive version of McGregor that helped launch him to superstardom, the fighter capable of changing everything with a single sequence and ending a contest before it ever settles into a rhythm. Another scenario sees Holloway dragging the fight into deeper waters, using his trademark pace and volume to gradually take control over the course of 5 demanding rounds. And of course, there is always the chance that the fight unfolds in a completely unexpected way. Combat sports have a habit of producing outcomes that few people anticipate, no matter how much analysis takes place beforehand. That uncertainty is a major reason the potential rematch has generated so much interest throughout the MMA community. There are convincing arguments on both sides, and no clear consensus about what would happen once the cage door closes. As a result, the debate is unlikely to slow down anytime soon. Fans, fighters, and analysts will continue discussing every possible outcome until the moment the action finally begins.